everyone. So my name is Gheerardyn. I'm one of the founders and also the CEO of Yields. Yields is a model risk management software company. So today, as we are an engineering company, I'd like to show why risk management matters, and I would like to show it by means of a number of post-mortems first. And the reason why I would like to do so is that when we talk about AI risks, very often we actually discuss processes, procedures, and standards, but we often forget that actually there is an important engineering component to being able to manage AI risks properly. So let me start with a few fun examples. This magnificent building here is called the Melbourne Monolith. It's, as you can see, a skyscraper in the residential neighborhood of Melbourne, and it's a few kilometers high. So what happened here? Actually, this building has been rendered in Microsoft's Flight Simulator, and it's being rendered with open data, and someone actually mistyped the number of stories of the building, and that led, of course, to this magnificent building. Now, it's a very good example to show that if you have powerful AI systems, but the data that you use as inputs will actually cause malfunction of the AI system itself. So you can have perfect models, but if the data doesn't make sense, the model is not going to produce very insightful outputs. So banks, as we are here in the finance track, financial institutions are very heavy in mathematical models. They have statistical models that have been around for a very long time. They're also using plenty of machine learning and AI algorithms. Because of this, because they have so many models in production, actually, very often you will see all kinds of incidents because the algorithms themselves might be used in the context for which they haven't been developed. There might be issues with data, there might be instabilities in the competition. Being able to scale your engineering so that actually you can detect those issues soon enough, again, is an engineering question. And unfortunately, sometimes the output of models can make the difference between life and death. This tool here is called an pulse oximeter, and actually it shines red light through your fingertip, and it estimates the amount of oxygen in your blood by measuring actually the difference between infrared and red light. So what happened is that during COVID, it was discovered that people with colored skin actually have often overestimated the amount of oxygen because the data on which this algorithm was trained was biased. Now, detecting bias in a medical setting is a very difficult challenge because the data itself is often unstructured, has plenty of dimensions, so again, you need engineering to be able to detect this easily. Now, when you are building algorithms, when organizations build tools and they take excessive risk, they might have actually a short-term competitive edge, because building robust systems actually takes a lot of time and energy. And AI accidents don't materialize overnight. It often takes a lot of time before those accidents will realize. And this is why regulators are putting legal frameworks in place, such as the AI Act, to bring the cost of excessive risk-taking forward. Now, while this is very good, since often new regulation opens budgets for C-levels, it raises the awareness as well, there's also a danger in this, because being compliant doesn't necessarily mean that you actually mitigate the risks. There is a clear difference between being compliant according to a standard or a policy and actually identifying all the risks and act on those. So what is a systematic way of mitigating AI risks? Well, first of all, you need to inventorize all your AI systems. In order to do this, you again may use different engineering tools. You also need good practices in place so that all the AI systems are properly registered. Once you have identified and inventorized all your AI systems, then you can start measuring or risk tiering these systems, meaning that you try to assess what's the amount of risk that that system actually represents for my organization. Once you do this, you can decide on how to reduce, how to mitigate or manage the risks, and actually use risk-based prioritization. And as a consequence, you will become compliant if you do all of this properly. Now, this, I'm sorry, yeah, okay, I missed one slide apparently, but this is not a theoretical exercise. At Yields, we have implemented this approach already for many years, and as a consequence, many Tier 1 financial institutions are using our application already, including BNP Paribas, HSBC, Commerzbank, and Westpac. And and next to say the classical financial institutions, we also now see that AI corporates who use AI systems in high-risk use cases are starting to onboard on the platform as well. This includes companies in, for instance, security, in HR tech, and in healthcare. So if you would like to address AI risks consistently and then actually become compliant along the way, then please get in touch. Thank you.